All right. First of all, if you're wondering why I'm so done up, it is actually Christmas Eve while I'm filming this because I was like, well, I look pretty good right now. Let me just go ahead and record a little something. Um, first off, this video, I'm just going to talk about the entirety of first year teaching, why it's so hard, why people quit. Reason number one why teaching is really difficult, the amount of work that goes into it. Let's just start right there. The amount of work that goes into it is and can be really stressful. If you are not passionate about teaching and you're just looking at it as just another job, then this might not be the career for you, because you will feel the need to do work outside of your contract hours. Like planning and inspiration strikes at any time. So if you absolutely refuse to do work outside of your contract hours, this is not the job for you. I actually, I'm on break right now, but a couple mornings ago, I woke up and I was just so inspired for an activity that I want to do for this upcoming spring semester. And I spent like 2 hours typing it out, planning it out, doing research, crafting the materials, and that's exciting to me. Like, I was excited. It wasn't, oh my gosh, I spent 2 hours of my break doing work, which I haven't checked emails or done anything else like that. I did that strictly because I wanted to. So I'm not saying that you need to go home and do work. What I'm saying is, though, if it's like a non-negotiable, like you absolutely will not ever do work outside your contract hours because you just refuse, and like it's not something that you're passionate about, then it's not for you. But a lot of work is like paperwork, 504s, SPED paperwork, EB paperwork, any other acronyms. Yeah, there's a lot of paperwork that goes into everything. There are other staff members that will need you to fill out paperwork. Meetings. You're going to be pulled into meetings for and about your kiddos, professional development trainings. Those really aren't taxing or anything, to be honest, but it is something that you do have to do. Lack of respect. Now, before we get down into this, this is not going to be my personal experience. This is going to be the general experience of teachers. So don't think that I'm about to really dish out the tea, because I'm not. I am not. I love my job. I'm staying here. I'm a government employee, and I'm gonna keep my lips shut when I know that I need to keep my lips shut. And this has been going on for years. It isn't just this generation. Even though people think, even though I do think this generation of kids that we're teaching are very different. They are very different from when I was growing up. There will always be people. There will always be parents and students who don't understand the impact and importance of education. Like, you as the teacher, you must understand the importance and impact of education, because you might be the only one sometimes in the classroom that understands that. So sometimes it's hard having that burden of being like the only person that really cares about education, because it's a lot of work. Like, it's like, dang, like, you guys really don't see that you really need these skills for life. Like, reading and writing and analyzing just in my English classes is what helps me in life. Yeah, so just the lack of respect for learning these days. Which number 3, teaching can be hard if you don't have a good teaching family. Like, like if the teachers around you, if the teachers in your pod, the teachers on your team, the teachers, the admin on your team, whatever, if you don't feel like you have a support system, then I don't see how you can flourish, to be honest. It will be extremely hard. It's already extremely hard, but it will be more so if you do not have a supportive team. Be a person who's always struggled with asking for help. So if you struggle with that, you need to quickly unlearn that behavior before you step into teaching, because my stomach just did something. Because you are absolutely going to need a lot of help. Just the fatigue. I'd say the next one, I don't even know which one we're on. I think this is number 4. The fatigue, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, okay? Because, and spiritually and mentally and emotionally, that goes back into the lack of respect, okay? Because when you do encounter just this warfare, this spiritual warfare, you're just kind of like, okay, am I supposed to be here? Because, you know, you want to keep your job, so you know that you can't act crazy, but you want to act crazy. So, and sometimes you do need to act crazy. Um, so yeah, it's a lot that goes into that. So yeah, you will be fatigued, like I said, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I mean, I don't need to spell it out and explain. There are plenty of TikToks and YouTube videos of why teachers are quitting and about just the dialogue that often happens between students and teachers and parents and teachers, and as to why it's just so hard to deal with people. If you ever worked in retail, it's the same thing, probably maybe even worse, because people just don't know how to communicate. That's the thing. They don't know how to communicate. They feel like you should already understand what they are trying to say before they've even properly communicated it. And communication is hard just in the adult life, because some people have passed on into their adult years without knowing how to communicate, and they'll keep passing on, passing on, passing on, and they just don't care to learn. So yeah, you will be mentally, emotionally, spiritually fatigued. You know, people coming at you with this and that and whatever. This is the side of teaching that everybody knows, I feel. And then physically fatigued, I mean, you know, you're standing, you're sitting, if you're like me, you might do a little dance. You know, you're running around making copies, getting computers, pushing computer carts, trying to find computers. Um, Taking the kids to the library, taking them back to class. Libraries, you know, you do that 6 times. Running your mouth all day, okay? Your mouth will be so dry. That's one thing that my most recent mentor teacher told me, is that yeah, your mouth is gonna be really dry. Have some gum around, have some mints around. Um, yeah, the fatigue. So yeah, these are just some things that it's not meant to discourage anybody from teaching, but definitely something that you should know. Like, these are all the reasons why first year teachers are quitting, unless there's something specific going on at their campus. There very well could be something specific going on at their campus, but I'm talking about just in general, is because people don't realize why it's so hard, like the different reasons that go into why teaching it is so hard. But the thing is that these are not, the thing is that if you have a passion and you have a why you teach these things, then you can overcome these things. This isn't like a, oh my gosh, it's gonna be the worst time of my life, you know, like it's going to be hard. If you are truly not built for it, you really didn't have a calling for it, and it's just another job to you, then it will be probably the worst job of your life, and you probably will quit. But yeah. But if you feel like you're really called for this, you feel like, okay, God wants me here for a reason, let me stick around. And He will surround you with at least one person who you can go to talk to, because God is not a God that leaves us alone. Um, so yeah, it's definitely, you will be able to overcome. But I'm just letting everybody know the truth, because I like to go into things knowing how hard it might be beforehand. Like, I like to do the front loading. I like to do the pre-work before you know, before you get down to it. Of course, obviously I couldn't be very specific. And I won't be very specific. Like I said, I want to keep my job. I know when to keep my lips shut. But if you know me, chances are you probably follow and chances are you're probably also following like my personal Instagram account, or maybe if you have my number and you want me to be specific about like the type of stuff that you can be dealing with, absolutely can give you the real. But this is just like a very watered down version of the real. Yeah, what actually, one more thing, which is like a subsection of lack of respect. So really it's like a, now which one was that? A three? Was that two or three? I can't remember. But if this is a subsection for the lack of respect, is differing teaching philosophies. Your teaching philosophy might differ from people on your team. It might differ from people from administration. It might differ from students and parents. So for me, and also a teacher friend that I have at work, we really like to push kids academically. Like, hey, maybe don't rely so much on this, and I want to push you to try to see if you can do without. I believe in doing hard work. Struggle builds character. We are in a generation right now where there has been a lot of hand holding in education. So if that's not your teaching philosophy, you're gonna bump heads with a lot of different characters in your story. So that's another thing. That's a subsection, I feel, of lack of respect, because you have to, I feel like you should respect that teacher's teaching philosophy, whatever it might be. Now, of course, there are teachers who are, who can be, I mean, teachers are human beings. So there are teachers who are unfair, who are mean, whatever, 100% true, accurate. But we're just kind of losing their, teachers just had the final say, and you respected what the teacher's vision was, the teacher's philosophy was, all that type of stuff. So yes, I will be, because I love to yap. I'm Miss Yapperton, queen of yapping. I will definitely be back to talk more about teaching, but for now,